Matt Stepp of Dave Campbell's Texas Football back here at the 90th Annual Texas High School Coaches Association and Convention. Here with the new head coach of the Judson Rockets, Coach Mark Soto.
Yes,
Coach, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us this morning.
I appreciate you having me.
It's always good to chat with you here at Coaching School, and it's in your hometown, San Antonio. My favorite place to have coaching school for sure, and it's always a special time of year because the season's about to be started. Everyone's undefeated. Everyone's in a good mood.
You're right.
And the association does a great job putting this thing on. How special for you being a member of the association for a while, how special is it to be a part of the association, and how important is it for coaches to be active in the THSCA?
You know, it's one of the strongest associations out there. You know, Joe Martin and Glenn West have done a tremendous job of building this convention where we can all come together, like-minded people, and make decisions based on our sports. And I think that's what's most important is the networking and the understanding that your voice has some power to it. And being able to bring 26,000 coaches together, 15,000 here at this one event speaks volumes for the state of Texas and sport in the United States. Probably the strongest association in the United States, and if not the world.
And I know, walking through the vendor area, I mean, every year the technology and the goodies and the toys they have, it blows my mind. I can't imagine as a coach. I bet you wish you were like you could come through here with the blank check and just buy all this stuff up, right?
I wish I had the school credit card and it was open account because I could go
that
nuts.
Thing.
Keep going.
There's all kinds of cool stuff out
There's
here.
all kinds of gadgets. You know, the funny ones, it reminds me of Tin Cup, that movie Tin Cup, where he comes out of the RV and he's got all these gadgets on. That's what it kind of reminds me of the time. But all the basics are here. All the new stuff is here. It's really cool to see the technology when it comes to video cameras and video systems to use to help.
Stuff to help you on Friday night.
To help get your hand up, you know.
And another thing, there's a misconception about the convention. They say football obviously is the big
right.
driver, and it's the big sport that everyone pays attention to. This is an all-sports convention. There's all kinds of stuff for every other sport going on as well.
About 2 or 3 years ago, Joe Martin and Glenn West decided they were going to make a push for all sports because it's the Texas High School Coaches Association. It's not the Texas Football Coaches Association. So in doing that, they knew they were going to have to step up the talks, and I think they upped the other sport talks by 70 or 120 talks this year, and it's been amazing. What I've heard from other sport coaches, girls basketball, girls soccer, swimming. I saw 3 swim coaches walking around the other day, stopped and talked to them. I don't think I've ever seen 3 swim coaches at coaching school in 27 years.
That's awesome.
So it's just been an amazing transformation. Coach Rutledge did some amazing things when he was the executive director. Joe Martin and Glenn West have moved and kind of brought it into the 21st century and really just continue to have a vision that's bigger than what it is right now, and every year it gets a little bit better.
All right, now let's talk about you and your new role. You did a great job at San Antonio Johnson, and you had a great gig. No, that's a good job, and you did a great job. It was going to take a special opportunity for you to leave Johnson, and that special opportunity came in your alma mater, the Judson Rockets, calling you and you taking over. What does it mean to you as a Rocket and having that pride to be the head coach at your alma mater?
Well, you know, as you're coming up and you're playing ball, especially for a storied program like Judson, you know, I played 3 years of varsity football. 3 years Coach Rutledge stood behind me and coached me. You can't help as a young man think, man, I want to be that guy. I want to be just like him. That's why a lot of us stay in the sport. I knew early on in junior high I wasn't going to the NFL. My dad's 5'7". My mom's 5'2". I ain't going to the NFL. So the next best thing was to watch these coaches and take everything in that they did, and pattern some things about yourself through them. So with Coach Rutledge behind me, there was no other thing that I wanted to do more than be the head coach of the Judson Rockets. And I had to take a little bit of a detour, but that's just God's way of telling you, man, you really weren't ready. You need some more experiences. Yeah. And the one thing I'll tell a young coach right now, value your experiences because they matter. Don't just sit there and do time. Value your experience, be where your feet are, and get something, glean something out of it so you can move on and use it at the next step.
Be a lifelong learner, right?
100%. 100%. I think if humans kind of sat back and thought that a little bit more and found out, listen to learn instead of listen to answer, I think we'd be a lot better off these days.
I agree with that. How long did it take you? When did it hit you? Like, when you get the call that you're the guy, it's all kind of a whirlwind and it's it's crazy for a few days. When did you have a chance to sit back and just be like, I'm the head coach of Judson. Like, how long did it take you after you got hired to really sit there and be like, this is real, this is happening?
When I told my mother.
That's awesome.
She lives 2.7 miles away. My dad passed away in 2018, and that was our life goal.
Yeah.
You know, when I told her, that's when it got real.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, we were. I mean, you know, obviously we followed your career when you were at San Marcos and Johnson and Ishmael Johnson, our Texas coach, Texas basketball editor.
You ever speak bad about him, I'm coming to get you.
Trust me, I don't want no smoke with you, Coach. But we were in the Slack and just messaging, Coach Soto got it. Coach Soto got it. We were super fired up for you.
Thank you.
Personally. So let's talk about a little football with those Judson Rockets in the 2022 season. Obviously, last year was a disappointment. I mean, there's no we won't beat around the bush.
It's a good word.
The expectation at Judson is pretty high, and it's deservedly so. We look at the 2022 season. You're coming in with your energy and your program to try to kind of get the ship turned in the right direction. When you talked to your kids, what was the thing that you felt like you needed to get turned around right away? What's the number one thing you guys got to do?
The biggest thing they need to understand, and I had several speakers come in on this topic too, and it just resonated in every talk. I didn't set the speakers, the ex-Rockets to come in and talk about this, but the Diamond J means something in the state of Texas.
It does.
It's well known.
When you see that logo,
when you see that logo,
there's no question what it is.
You can travel in the summer, get on a plane, fly to Boston, California, whatever. Somebody's going to stop you in the airport and say, "Hey, that's you from Judson?"
Yeah.
It means something, and these kids need to understand that, and they need to understand that they need to live up to what it means. Their daddies did it. Right now, I'm coaching a lot of kids that I played ball with their dads.
That's awesome.
Or their uncles, and they just need to understand it means something. There's a certain way. The expectation is here. This is the way we do things, period, the end. And we're not going to waver whether you're a Power 5 guy or whether you're a scout team guy. We're not going to waver. Here's the expectation. This is where we're shooting for, and this is where we're headed. At the end of the day, it takes what it takes. Yeah. To win a state championship, there's no shortcut
and especially
whatsoever.
In Texas 6A football. It's the toughest conference in the country.
Without doubt.
No doubt about it.
And for them to understand that we just are not going to be able to walk on the field and it happen. We've got to prepare for it, and they've done an amazing job this summer getting ready. Our Power 5 guys are there. We got 2 Power 5 guys. Our 2s are there. Our 3s are there. Everybody's working out. The incoming freshmen have had a great turnout, so we're really happy about where we're at right now. We really want to get into some game situations and see how we built the team this spring and see if they're going to respond when it gets really, really tough.
Because there'll be adversity. Football is a game of adversity, and you the people that Judson plays in non-district and in district are really good. They're good coaches and good teams. You're going to have some adversity. You got to see how they handle it. Right?
I mean, we open up with San Antonio Johnson, and they're no slouch. They were undefeated last year.
You know those guys well.
Know them well. They know us well.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and play Austin Westlake.
You're scheduling a bunch of softies, Coach.
I know. And then after that, you got Pflugerville Weiss. And then you got
11-win team last year.
And you got Hutto, and then you got Midland Lee. So if we can't get ready in those first 5 games, we don't deserve a run at the district title.
When you mentioned Coach Miller and Johnson, you're a guy that you mentored, and you guys you're playing in Week 1 at the Alamodome. That's going to be a special event. How cool is that to be? And I know when the game gets going, you're going to want to beat them.
Right.
But how special is that to coach against a young coach that you mentored and brought along as well? You're kind of paying it forward a little bit there, right?
Definitely. Coach Miller, he's just a special individual. He really is. I mean, there's something special about him that you gravitate towards him. He was going to be a head coach some point, sometime. For him to be the head coach of the Johnson Jaguars, a prominent school here in San Antonio, man of color, taking over that job is important. It's important to sport in Texas, not just high school football, but all sport, because there's kids of color that are running around watching, and they see him, and they're going to want to be like him. And that's what's so important about it. The game itself, when the bullets fly, we're going to coach our tails off, period, the end.
You're trying to beat him.
Before the game, I'm going to try to beat him hard. I mean, that's the point of it, right? The win is the goal.
You're competitors. That's what you
100%.
And you wouldn't expect anything less from him, would you?
And he's defensive-minded, and I'm defensive-minded, so I know this game's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Before the game, we're going to hug each other, and after the game, we're going to hug each other. It's just going to be a game in the sense that it's a goal to achieve.
And it's a special thing for San Antonio to have all those games at the Alamodome to open the season. This would be a cool thing for the city as well, I think.
I think it's the first time we've ever had something like that. I know Dallas has something like that. Houston, So it's time for us to do something like this where it's dedicated to the community as a whole, and people can sit on there, turn on their TV, and see some teenage kids not in the streets getting in trouble, on the field, giving it all they got, and playing with the great competitiveness.
Final question before we let you go, Coach. If the 2022 Judson Rockets are going to be have the season you want them to have, what do you guys need to hang your hat on the field? What's got to go well for you guys on the field? Are you going to hang your hat on defense in 2022? Is that going to be the key?
No, we're going to hang our hat on being good character kids. All right, we've got to be able to fight through the fight and make sure we keep our head and control what we can control. The X's and O's, everybody's going to match up well. The speed on the field, everybody's going to match up well. What matters for us is can we keep our head when the bullets are flying.
There you go. Coach Mark Soto, the head coach of the Judson Rockets. Coach, we appreciate your time.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate what you do
you guys
for student
do a great job.
athletes in
Thank
student
you.
Texas, and good luck at 2022.
Thank you, sir.